Good morning. Today I'd like to talk about impoverished or poor and other great phrases and vocabularies. The hit Netflix series Squid Game has already given people great ideas for Halloween costumes. The numbered tracksuits, the black masks with the geometric shapes on them. Online retailers are getting flooded with the orders. It's a very famous story all over the world. But this movie is about poor people deep in debt, people who are penniless, poverty-stricken. These people are known as the downtrodden. 감당할 수 없는 빚을 지시고. How about deep in debt? 가난에 찌들린, poverty-stricken, S-T-R-I-K-E-N, poverty-stricken. Or 무지랭이처럼 짓밟힌 사회 약자, the downtrodden. T-R-O-D는 밝다예요. 그래서 the downtrodden, 짓밟힌 약자. Or people on the margins of a society. Margin, M-A-R-G-I-N, 사회 메인스트림, 주류에 살지 못하고 주변에 사는 사람. 그래서 주변자 또는 소외자 좋죠. People on the margins of society. Or impoverished. 다른 말로는 destitute. D-E-S-T-I-T-U-T-E. destitute. stute가 stand거든요. 그래서 서 있을 수 없는 형편. downtrodden 하고 비슷하죠. destitute. 그 다음에 특권이 없어서 불우한 사람, 불우한 이웃. underprivileged. I have given you a list of important phrases to describe the poverty in any society. Like when you have a lot of debt, you could say you are deep in debt, right? People who are poverty-stricken have no means to make a living, poverty-stricken, or the downtrodden. People on the margins of society, destitute, right? 이렇게 사는 사람이 중국에 아주 많습니다. 중국은 노동자의 천국, 북한 공산주의 국가는 뭐라고 하죠? 노동자의 천국, workers' paradise라고 하죠. 그렇지만 지금은 오징어 되었죠. squidified라고 제가 만들어 보았습니다. People are squidified in China. That's very original. China is not a communist country anymore. It's a squid country. There's a new term for this. State capitalism. 국가 자본주의라고 부르죠. And Xi Jinping, the president of China, wants to remain in power. And so he has to pretend that he's interested in the welfare of his people. And he speaks of a common prosperity. Now, I'd like to talk about a preposition. 전치사를 이야기하죠. Also, I'd like to give you one of my mantras again. 집착을 놓아라. Let go of your attachment. 그 다음에 나의 손을 놓아라. Let go of my hand. 과거를 놓아라. Let go of the past. Right? 손을 놓으면 Let go of my hand. 싫은 사람이 손을 꽉 잡고 있으면 손을 놓아요. Let go of my hand. 줄여서 Please let go. Now how about this? The speech was horrible, unconvincing, and empty of content. 내용이 텅 비어 있다. 내용이 아무것도 없다. 그래서 마음을 텅 비우거나 또는 내용이 텅 비어 있으면 over가 되죠. 텅 비어 있는 상태 또는 비어 있는 상태. 그는 세상의 욕망이 텅 비어져 있다. He is empty of any worldly desires. 바이블 보면은 이런 말이 있죠. 마음이 가난한 자는 저는 이걸 영어로 해보면 How about this? He is poor of greed, anger, ignorance. 이렇게 했으면은 마음이 가난하다는 말은 마음이 텅 비어 있다는 걸 말할 수 있죠. He is poor of greed, anger, and ignorance. 또는 텅 비어 있어서 자유로우면은 He is free of greed, anger, and ignorance. 손을 놓으면 내 손이 비어 있는 상태, 내용이 비어 있는 것. empty of, free of. How about devoid of? The landscape on Mars is completely devoid of life. The Sahara Desert is completely devoid of life. D-E-V-O-I-D. 고통이 하나도 없어져서 텅 비어 있어요. I am free of pain. 이 특별 수업은 공짜예요. 돈이 텅 비어 있는 거죠. The special class was offered free of charge. 세금이 없어요. 텅 비어 있어요. Tax free, duty free, right? Pain free. I am free of pain을 바꿔서 free를 전미어로 쓰죠. Suffix, pain free, duty free, tax free, or tax free shopping 이런 표현이 생기죠. Now, 타동사와 결합되어서 텅 비어 있거나 비어 있거나 하는 상태. 현대인들은 스트레스를 많이 받죠. 그래서 명상을 하여서 좀 화난 마음을 없애거나 비우면은 He does meditation for 10 minutes every day. He claims that it helps cleanse his mind of worries or hatred. Purify. 순수한, pure, P-U-R-E의 동사는 purify죠. P-U-R-I-F-Y. 그러면 순수하게 하니까 불순물이 하나도 없죠. 그래서 불순물이 텅 비어 있거나 없게 되겠죠. 단식을 하면 몸에 독소가 사라진다. Fasting purifies your body of toxins. 순수하게 하니까 사회를 정화하게 되죠. 공산국가나 독재국가들이 좋아하는 단어죠. The government is doing its best to purify the government of corruption. 몸의 독소를 좀 없애고 싶어요? I need to purify my body of any toxins. Purify is the same as purge. P-U-R-E는 purify가 되기도 하고 purge, P-U-R-G가 되죠. 생긴 것도 비슷하죠? Every morning he sits still meditating, trying to purge his mind of anxiety. He meditates to purge his mind of worries. He does meditation to purge his mind of worries. 집에 있는 음식 쓰레기를 폐기하고 처리하면 깔끔해지겠죠. Dispose of. D-I-S-P-O-S-E of. Dispose of. Dispose, D-I-S-P-O-S-E는 dispose. D-I-S는 away죠. pose, 두 단대 멀리 두어서 없애는 거예요. 저희 아파트 단지에 최근에 음식 쓰레기를 버리는 기계를 설치했죠. My apartment complex built a new high-tech machine to dispose of food waste. It's great. We also have another huge metal container to dispose of expired vegetable oil. I love my neighborhood. My dog died yesterday. Please tell me how to dispose of my dead dog. I have a lot of money to dispose of. I have a lot of income to dispose of. 처리할 소득이 많네요. I have a lot of income to dispose of. 그래서 disposable income. D-I-S-P-O-S-A-B-L-E, disposable income. 그러니까 처분할 수 있는 소득이죠. 각종 월급에서 각종 세금과 각종 이자를 제외하고 마음대로 쓰는 돈. 세련된 우리말로 가처분 소득이라고 하죠. Now a great story time. Xi Jinping, Chinese president, says the communist China is a worker's paradise. But with the economic growth for the past 30 years, it is the second largest economy in the world. With the nation's wealth comes various social problems, like Korea and the United States. At the top of the list of problems is the gap between the rich and the poor. The top 20% of China's households take home over the 45% of the country's disposable income. The top 1% own over 30% of household wealth. However, poor people on the margins of society are deep in debt. The destitute are going hungry and angry. Since he took power, Xi Jinping has been waging a campaign to purge China of capitalist greed. He sees increasing debt as the enemy of communism. He believes that big businesses must be controlled. Can he really purify the country of corruption and the wealth gap? He has, of course, disposed of hundreds of corrupt officials so far. To bring out change in China, he has grabbed more power than any other leader since Mao Zedong. This breeds a cult of personality and dictatorship. Unless China finds a way to deal with the wealth gap and dictatorship, it will go down in history as another failed dynasty, just like previous ones before it. A cult of a personality. 개인 숭배는 이때 개인은 personality를 사용하죠. A cult of a personality. 개인을 숭배, cult, 숭배니까 a cult of personality. Dictatorship, 독재. 북한과 중국을 이야기할 때 빼놓을 수 없는 단어가 바로 이 두 단어죠. A cult of a personality and dictatorship. 개인 숭배와 독재. A cult of a personality and dictatorship.